Yo!
Hey!
What is up?
We back in the spot to be.
What?
I don't know. I just feel really good in the studio. It makes me say silly things.
I can't stand you.
Yeah, you can.
Yo, what is up, my people? I'm Javon.
And I'm Matt.
Welcome to Ministry Misfits Podcast. Yes, I said it 100% correct. I'm
that's
here.
The first time in
That
weeks.
is not the first time in
is.
weeks.
Don't lie.
I want you guys to go back and rewatch those and consider sponsoring us while you're doing that. And tell us how many times I got that right, opposed to how many times I got it wrong. And then go back to the promo video in the very beginning when we first started the podcast, and you can hear Matt say it wrong. So yeah, that's great.
Well, yeah. I mean, you caught me off guard with the first time when we did the promo video. You're like, "Oh, hey Matt, so yeah, let's film this video and let's talk about it." I was like, "Dude, you literally just dropped the idea on me. Like, I'm not ready."
I get things moving. When I want things to happen, we make them happen as soon as possible. So last week we were talking about Game of Thrones and Easter, just wrapping that up. But you know, Game of Thrones trended on Easter, but Easter didn't. Like Jesus didn't trend on Twitter, but Easter did.
Jesus didn't trend, but Dungeons and Dragons did. Okay. I can't. Like, for me, I just really struggle with Game of Thrones. And the reason why I struggle with Game of Thrones is because I don't know. I don't understand anything good that comes from that TV show. Like,
I've literally never seen one episode,
and I don't want to see any more. I don't want to see any more.
But it is like the biggest show on television.
It is the biggest show on television right now, and it's crazy. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, there's dragons and there's princesses and there's kings and there's incest and there's all kinds of nasty, whack, messed up scenes that I don't know. Why are you watching that? Check your heart.
Despite, I don't care what's on it, but I do want to say, by the way, I want to clear something up. I look this way sometimes because there's a monitor here that I'm checking. I watched the last video and I was like, dang, I just keep looking over there. What's over there? There's a monitor there, just so you know. But so I think regardless of the TV show, what it is, like, I get that it's probably gross and just doing way too much for me. But they've brought back appointment viewing.
Appointment viewing. Explain. Like
waiting a week to see another episode of something.
Yep. Because that used to be, I mean, just in like the small stuff, you think of like Smallville and like all those type of shows on CW6. It was like a Clark Kent type vibe.
I watched terrible TV shows growing up.
But like they had the whole, you wanted to come back, every single week, even Friends and even like
Seinfeld.
What's the
Married
Seinfeld?
with Children?
Married with
I used
Children.
to watch every morning at
2.5
6 a.m.
Men
2.5 Men.
He went crazy.
I think that's debatably where Game of Thrones is.
Pretty close. But
you know one thing I hated about 2.5 Men?
What?
When they try to replace Charlie Sheen with Ashton Kutcher.
It just went downhill. It went downhill.
What are you doing?
Quick.
That's why nobody remembers the show anymore.
Yeah.
And I love Ashton Kutcher. He's like good at life.
Yeah.
Like he's on That 70s Show. He's on Punked.
Oh, is he on Punked?
He was on Punked. He got punked.
He got punked.
And he was a really good sport about it.
Dang. Huh.
Yeah, I like him kind of.
I don't know. Well, I don't know. I think either way, I just think it's silly that a TV show trends more than Jesus does sometimes. And
but the world cares more about Game of Thrones than Jesus.
That's true.
Charlemagne and Andrew Schultz, they're podcasters and just great content creators. Very bad also. So probably not good to shout them out. I don't care. They're very creative.
Who?
Charlemagne and Andrew Schultz have a podcast, and I was listening to it, and they talked about, does Jesus need a rebrand? Is what they said.
I don't even know where to begin with that. Where do you pick up with, does Jesus need a rebrand? I don't know. Here, let me like rebrand the cross and rebrand. I mean, like
modern culture would agree that Jesus needs it, but you can't just rebrand Jesus. Like, that's not how it works. Like, I get they were talking about it sarcastically in a way, but it really got me thinking. Like, do people really need Jesus to be rebranded to today's culture for them?
I don't know if Jesus needs a rebrand. I think church needs a rebrand. I think we've done church. I think we've done religion wrong.
But the church has been rebranded. Like, the church of 50 years ago is not the church that we see today. And like, the lights are different. The music's different. It's all keeping up and doing different. The only thing that hasn't changed
is Jesus.
It's the Bible, which it shouldn't. You can't just change the Bible.
You can't.
But I get where they're coming from. I do.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, you know what? I mean, I don't know.
It forces you to think about it, though.
It does force you to think about it.
You to think
Hey,
about it.
I did want to bring this up. I know I mentioned this last episode. We were talking about the whole cathedral thing and the different things where you can sponsor your money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the organization that we sponsor and the children that we sponsor
by we he means him.
I mean our church ministries. We sponsor the children from Children of the Nation. So we've been in contact with them and just through emails and letters and communication. That's where we give for each of our ministries we sponsor a kid. So I just want to remember to bring that up because I know I spaced last time. And I was like, I don't know what the organization is, but we sponsor them. So I don't want you guys thinking like, oh, hey, they don't really sponsor anybody. No, we sponsor from Children of the Nations. And that's another great organization that you can jump on board with.
Yeah. So, and with kids needing help, there's also somebody else that needs help.
Uh-oh.
That man, Steph Curry, tried to dunk last night.
He told me this video, and I was like, I don't even know. I watched it. And I was just like,
he went up.
That reminds me of just like some high school stuff. Like that was me in high school with my friends when we were my friends. Like that was me in high school when like we were showboating or goofing off or just being stupid. And it was like, hey, just make the shot. Like this shot's got to count. He had nobody on him. There was no pressure. Make the layup.
Make the layup,
and
boss.
He missed that rim by so far. Like the ball barely went on top of the rim. It went on the edge of the rim. Leave that man alone.
He's a Christian. Leave that man alone.
He is. Hey,
who's the best basketball player?
Here's the deal. He shoots threes, not layups. That's why he missed it. If he was dropping a three, that would have gone in. Yeah. That's the problem.
Who's the best basketball player?
Now LeBron, if that's what you're thinking.
Who is it? Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant?
Kevin Durant is the best athlete in the world.
I don't know.
Right now.
You know what? Here, how about we ask you guys? Who is the best basketball player? We want to hear from you. Who's the best basketball player?
You know why Kevin Durant is the best basketball player in the world?
Why?
When I was in high school and in junior high, I had shorter hair. And they always used to tell me I look like Kevin Durant. And ever since then, I said Kevin Durant's the best. And watching him play, he makes teams better. He's in the playoffs. LeBron's not. That's enough for me.
That's enough for you. I don't know. I think there's a lot of good guys out there that can play the game well. I just don't know if Kevin I can Durant. Narrow it down to the best. Durant. But until we hear from you, Kevin Durant is the best basketball player. Apparently,
did it for you. If you want to talk about it, we can have a whole segment. I'll explain exactly why. Again. Because I don't have much to back that statement up other than the fact that I think so.
He's the best.
He just is the best.
Period. We need to figure out how to get, there's like an air conditioner like right up behind my head over here. We need to figure out how to get that thing working. I love your studio, but it's just a little toasty. That's great.
It's broken.
It's broken?
It looks broken.
I mean, it's probably just needs to be plugged in somewhere.
Nah, that boy's broke.
That boy's broke.
Speaking of being broke, Chase posted this tweet. I'm about to read it. It says, oh, where is it? It's so good, so good, so good.
You still use Twitter?
Yes, I still use Twitter. Twitter is where I talk, you know?
Okay.
So it says, Chase Bank says, it's like the you, and then like, you know how people will be like, nobody, and then California, oh my gosh, I'm going to the beach. You get what I'm saying?
So it's like two different people. It's like you have that conversation. Yeah.
So it says you, why is my balance so low? Bank account, make coffee at home. Bank account, eat the food that's already in the fridge. Bank account, you don't need a cab. It's only 3 blocks. You, I guess we'll never know. Bank account, seriously? # Monday motivation. I thought that was a good tweet.
Dude, that is solid. Good job. Here, time out. Good job on you, Chase. For real. Here's the deal.
You might have a trash bank, but like y'all, that tweet
y'all
was
hit us with fees that don't even matter. But here's the deal. That tweet is fire. You know why? Because it's truthful. All
Facts.
right.
Yep.
I got a BlackRock addiction. I go to BlackRock way that I need to. If I probably took into account the amount of times, the amount of money I spent at BlackRock, I would probably have a down payment on a car. Just being honest.
He does have a car already.
I do have a car though.
Just so you guys,
just to clarify, like this isn't like, hey, come sponsor me because I don't have a car.
Pass me to Uber.
This is definitely farther than 3 blocks, so I ain't walking.
3
Gilbert's at downtown Phoenix. Good night. We're
in North Phoenix. Thank you very much.
My bad. Sorry. Don't want to put you in that wrong category. Apparently.
For real though, I'm not bougie.
But here's the deal though. Like for real. Like I think when when people get in our kitchen, we get all butthurt of and here's the deal is like, for real though, how many people complain about money? And I can name several people. I'm not going to because I'm not going to put them on blast on podcast. But I know so many people that complain at me and they're like, oh, I don't have money, or oh, I just wish I could go out with you guys and have tacos tonight, or oh, I'm like, save some money.
Save it up.
Save it up. This pointless, frivolous things that you don't need. Don't spend your tax return or tax refund the second you get it. Don't go out there and buy stuff that you don't need. Like, put some money in savings, or just like budget, like literally budget, which people don't know how to do.
When I'm driving around after tax season, you see all the paper tags, like the nobody has real license plates. They all have like the little paper tags.
Oh yeah.
Because everybody's buying all these cars, and none of them get into the DMV because everybody's trying to buy a car and everybody's trying to get the license plates on it. People, tax return season, my friends. Okay, I cannot stand tax return season, refund season, either one, because everybody flexes like they have all this money. Out of nowhere, everybody's got a Rollie. Everybody's got a new car. Everybody's got this. Everybody's got that. Bro, calm down.
I had a kid tell me, he came in last Wednesday. He was a high schooler, and he comes to me and he goes, "Hey, Matt, you know how to make it look like you got a lot of money and you can like post on your Instagram?" And I was like, "No, because I don't care, but sure, tell me." I'm like, "Please tell me." He's like, "So my friend showed me this trick. You take like, so you have like a $100 bill, all right? And it's like, even if you just have to take it out of your savings account and put it back. We have $100 bill, but then you fan out the rest ones, but all you see is the one. So it looks like you have a bunch of $100 bills. And dude, you'll get so many likes and so many. And I'm like,
get robbed.
I'm like, first off, I don't need to flaunt my cash. Like, I know how much is in my bank account, and that's all that matters. Like, I don't need to tell you how much is in my bank account. All right.
I can tell you how much is in his bank account.
Be nice.
45. You guys can choose if that's 100,000, whatever you want to say. But it starts with a 45, and then you can go from there.
It's not even close. No. But here's the deal. I think it's just so funny. Is that it's a lost art, right? Yeah. It's a lost art of being, learning these life skills, which I think is something that just goes back to, what are we teaching kids in school? Oh, so good. I'm so glad we're on this topic. This past Sunday and past Wednesday, I had my middle school students bring in their sugar babies. Literally, this is a new thing that they're doing in middle school, which I don't understand, because this was something that happened during like sophomore, junior year in high school.
Sugar baby?
Yes. So literally, it is a packet of sugar, like not like a small thing of sugar, literally like a full bag of sugar that they stuff inside a onesie. They add like fluff to make legs, and they put like a styrofoam head, and they put a baby beanie on it, and they put a pacifier in his mouth.
Like where this is going.
And in middle school, in junior high, they do it's part of their human growth and development. Mm-hmm. They do this like taking care of a baby or whatever. I don't know. And
you got to train them for teen pregnancy.
I just can't. And in that, like, they're walking around with these babies, like, here's my baby, here's my baby. And so literally, I had like 8 babies in my room that weren't real, but 8 sugar babies in my room on Wednesday night. And I had like another, like,
did you baptize them?
8 on Sunday. Well, no, I preached with one. I was like, all right, give me a baby. I was like, I'm gonna preach with the baby in my hand. It actually got really heavy after a while, because you don't realize how much a bag of sugar is.
Or you could go to the gym. Yep.
Sometimes I really wonder why I still do this podcast with him.
No.
Time out. Let's not talk about going to the gym. Who's the real person who's been working out? Now you.
Me. I'm at the gym every single year.
Did you go?
At least once.
I can't with you right now. But so in this, right? Like life skills that are being lost. And no one's doing anything with these life skills. No one's intently putting out, hey, how to budget, or how to save, or how to do your laundry, or how to, change the oil on a car, or change a tire.
No, you don't need to know that.
Time out. Do you know how many people don't know how to change the tire on their car, even though their car comes with every single tool that you need to change a tire?
I would say 90% of people don't know how to change a tire in a car.
Yep.
And I'm a part of the 90% who knows how to change it, but probably never will.
Because you have AAA.
I have AAA. Why?
Fair.
Why would
Unless you're in a hurry to get somewhere, you change that real quick.
No, because
Your wife having a baby in the hospital, and then you have blow a tire. You ain't gonna change it to get there quicker.
no, I'm gonna flag down another car and take it and put my wife in. They do it in the movies all the time.
No. Your wife is already at the hospital. You're racing to get to the hospital.
Okay, still, I'm gonna flag down another car, take it, and take it. Dude, watch it. Beep, beep, stop, move. Hey, wait, wife's pregnant. I gotta go to the hospital. It would work.
You are not gonna steal someone else's car to get.
Yeah, I am. Plus, labor is like 9 hours. I could walk,
Lord.
and then I could make it on time.
You could walk. You could walk those 3 blocks. So you don't need
those 3 blocks. You don't need a cab.
You don't need a cab. Oh,
with Ubers and Lyfts and all these things, why get out and change? It's hot here.
Okay.
It gets over 120
It's a skill,
degrees.
though. It's a skill.
That's a skill I do not want in Arizona.
It's a skill that you don't want, but it's a skill you need.
You should know how to fix it though. But at the same time, they don't even teach you how bad you're going to get screwed when you go to buy a car in the first place.
They don't tell you what percentages is. They don't tell you what the interest is. They don't tell you what the APRs are.
Or the fact of how much value it's going to lose when you drive it off of
the second you leave that parking lot. You just threw $4,000 down the toilet, let alone just the day, not including like the year and the month.
Yep.
So I mean, I think it ultimately goes to the question: what do we need to be doing to better set up the next generation for success in life?
Take out all the stupid classes that you have in high school.
So like listing, like what would be a couple?
Okay, so this is the thing. High school shouldn't last 4 years.
Okay.
You don't learn enough in those 4 years. In high school, I took nine gym classes in my 4 years. 9 of them.
In all honesty, I think I took like 5.
Not 5 and 9.
And I
that
took
is
like
so many gym classes. That is so much time.
And it was just because you could take the elective. Like it was an easy elective. Like, or it was a fun elective. I mean, I'm outside all day, or I get to be like
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so I took all those 9 gym classes. Other classes I took that I probably didn't need. I took 6 different tech classes that I didn't need. 6 different tech classes that I did not need. You know why I didn't need them? Because I forgot how to do all of it. Okay, so that's 6 plus 9 is 15 classes I didn't need so far. And then anything after Algebra 2 was useless to me.
Yep.
And then all the AP science classes, useless to me. You could have condensed most of my history classes into 1 year in reality. So I have all of this extra space because I took so many electives.
For the most amazing history class ever. RIP.
I have too many good teachers. I can't.
Yeah, no, he's an OG. And then Miss Buttrey, who's an amazing art teacher. And then Miss Beats, who was my coach.
Okay, we're gonna do this then. Who the top 3 teachers are those your top 3 teachers that you had in high school?
You gotta say top 3.
Okay. You only mentioned 3, so I'm assuming that's your top 3.
So I will say, Mr. McLaughlin, rest in peace. He passed away from a stage of cancer just recently. But he was an amazing world history, American history teacher that not only like taught history, but taught real life history. So like what's going on now, and then how do you continue, and how do you carry this conversation, and how do you be a part of something great in the world? How do you move, a movement, or how do you be a part of that? And so he was an amazing teacher. Miss Buttrey, she's an amazing art teacher. And she's like just shaping mine with how, like, I would say a lot of my creative side comes from her. Like, it'd be like, you know how like you have that person like spears you on to do better? Like you're like, oh, I'm just going to do this. Okay, cool. But have you thought about this? Oh, no. Okay, let me go back to the drawing board. Like, let me think bigger. Let me think and dream a little bit bigger. So I had her for several years because I just love that class.
We doing top
3? We doing
one more
3?
slot.
That's hard. So I took a lot of PE classes. So this is a twofer, right? These two are together,
no,
all right?
No,
Miss Buttrey and Mr.
no,
Andrews
no,
were both
no,
Miss Buttrey and Miss Beats and Mr. Andrews.
No, you pick one of those two. I said top 3, not top 4 in honorable
They were
mention.
doing the same thing. Top 4 and honorable mention. I'll take it. That's top 5 then. Top 4 and honorable mention.
Yeah, so you get one of them. So which one of them was more important?
Fine, one in honorable mention. One
Okay, one in honorable.
Mr. Andrews. He is amazing.
Cut off the other one.
No, hold on. Honorable mention.
He's the honorable mention.
No. Honorable mention is Miss Beats. She was literally my solid rock throughout high school.
But she couldn't make your top 3.
She helped. Stop. You're messed up, bro. I hope my teachers listen to this and know how much I love them. I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for those teachers that helped me graduate. So shout out to all my teachers.
I need the air horn.
You're so messed up. But in that, she bought me a pair of running shoes when I blew up my arches in cross country and I needed like legitimate stuff to be able to continue to run. So she was solid.
That's
so you top 3 teachers that shaped your world. No, top 3 teachers.
Fiscal responsibility.
Top 3 teachers. No. Get out of fiscal. Top 3 teachers.
Top 3 in honorable mention.
Top 3 honorable mention. Top 3 though. Top 3 in honorable mention. Don't be playing with me right now.
Mrs. Anthony.
Okay, Mrs. Anthony. I hope you're listening. Your Spanish teacher.
Yes. Incredible.
Okay.
That so I have this little. I'm gonna show you now. I keep this with me always. On graduation, she gave me this penny.
Ooh.
That has a cross, like burned a hole through it.
It's cut through.
Cut through, whatever.
Punch.
But I've kept this. You can't see it from there probably, but I've kept this since that day because she was the one that believed in me, even when I was a
beep.
Yeah. And beep and beep and beep. Yeah, like when I was all of those things. All of them. That was my homie. So yeah, number 1. I'll even rank her number 1.
Okay, you ranking your teacher.
I'm not ranking anybody else. I'm not ranking anybody else. I'm not ranking anybody else.
Who's 2?
I'm saying that she's number 1.
All right, who's next? This is 2. This is 2.
You're so wrong.
No, you did this to me straight up.
You ranked
No. All right, come on.
Number 1, Mrs. Anthony.
Okay, number 2.
Mrs. Richards.
Mrs. Richards. Okay, what'd she do? Or what'd she teach?
Same thing. She oh my gosh, what did you teach? I don't even know because like
she was just
she became like a friend almost. Like
that's cool.
I think I only had one class with her too.
Oh, so good.
When she came to my graduation party and gave me a Bible.
That's legit.
Yeah, no, not a Bible, but a Jesus Calling book, like the daily devotional book.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And number 3, oh man, who would that even be?
Wow. Ouch.
Like I'm trying to think of like the above and beyonders.
Remember, you get like an honorable mention too. So you get like number 3 and an honorable mention.
See, that's what makes it hard though. Because like honorable mention doesn't really mean anything.
Oh, yes it does.
It does not.
Yes it does.
It does not.
Hands down.
It does not.
Oh, I would say
it goes, this is my top 3, but I guess if I could have another one, it'd be you. Like I don't want
You're just trying to bail out of like putting someone above someone else. Let's go. We don't get all day, Javon.
All right. Number 3 is, I don't know.
Yeah, pick somebody. Come on.
Mrs. Seaford. Mrs. Seaford and Mr. Van Petten.
Okay, so which was your honorable mention? No. So Mr. Van Petten is the honorable mention.
No.
Yeah.
No. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I took his class 4 times on purpose.
Oh.
Like on purpose. I took 4 different
on
classes
purpose
that he
or
taught.
on purpose?
There were 4 different classes that I took.
Okay.
Those were all the tech classes I took.
Oh, gotcha.
And they were all within
So he's
him.
an honorable mention because it was 4 different tech classes you took just because he was a dope dude. So honorable mention.
I'm going to say Mr. Van Petten is the honorable mention because it's more likely that Mrs. Seaford's watching this.
Hold on. I gotta say, here's one more person I gotta shout out. All right.
Oh, so you're gonna have an honorable mention?
No, this is the homie. Okay.
So this is number 1.
Homie.
This knocks your honorable mention out.
Nope. This is a homie. All right.
Is it me?
His name was George, and he was on our facilities team I have a picture of him on my Instagram. And he came to the graduation. Solid dude. He'd always hope you don't get in trouble for this. He'd always let me in the back when I was running late to get to class a little bit quicker. But no, he believed in me even when I didn't believe in myself. He encouraged me even when I didn't.
That
think
was
that I could
Mrs.
do anything.
Anthony for me, which is why she was number 1 on my list.
No, which is solid. Like he was.
Oh
there.
wait, but that
Like,
doesn't count because he's not a teacher. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he's not
Yeah.
a teacher.
You're right.
He was on our facilities and janitorial team. So it's amazing that this guy cared above and beyond for like the students and how he would go out of his way to support and encourage and spur on. And so yeah, OG.
Mrs. Moore, I love you. Mr. Vincent, I love you.
You just go down the list right now. Miss Coletto, Miss
Miss Bruder.
Miss Baird. Who
Miss who?
else? Miss Baird.
Like Baird?
I think so. I think that's how you say her name. She was
Oh.
amazing.
Was she
Real
blonde?
cutthroat. No,
Oh,
real
not
cutthroat.
what I thought you were talking
English
about.
teacher. Oh no, wait, no, that's she. No, I'm confusing 2 teachers right now.
Okay, but
Anyway,
and back to what we're talking about. Okay,
we spent probably like 10 minutes talking about teachers.
there was one class that taught me something to do in life. Like one
What was that?
class. It was culinary arts.
Mm.
One class.
The one class for me that taught me something in
twice.
life
I did
was
2 of
so
them.
my government class, which was my senior year I took. She taught us how to do.
Ooh.
She taught us how to do our taxes. She taught us how to process and align, just thought process, how to vote, how to like go through and read things and how to like make judgments and stuff like that, how to kind of budget and that. Like that for me was probably the best class I had my senior year because it helped set me up for me getting ready for the real world. Shout out Mrs. Hensel. So in that, like it was real. Like in that class is probably the only reason why I know how to vote, or not know how to vote, but can understand the process of voting and understand how to research and get the information about making my decision to vote and even just to do my taxes. Like,
well, my culinary class taught me that I did not have to eat ramen in college. You know how many times I bought ramen in college? You know how many times?
No.
Living on campus?
How many?
0.
Huh.
Never once, but had to go and get ramen because I was taught how to cook with things that were already around.
Homeboy, I just had some of his Mexican food that was in the fridge. Whoo! I mean, literally felt so good. Like I ate
It's
it.
like
I'm like,
comfort food, bro. You
That's like comfort. I just ate it. I'm like,
I'm gonna
okay.
take a nap.
I'm like, yeah, let me take a fat nap. I literally, we came back in the studio and I went over and I sat on the couch. I laid down on the couch.
We gotta
and I
get
was like-
started before
I was
this.
like, I'm fading quick. Let's go. But like for real. So like we need to get more of those shop classes. Like how many people? It's so funny.
Oh.
I teach people how to use power tools at the church.
Yeah.
Why? Because they're not learning it anywhere else. So literally, like this gal the other day came. She's like, "Ooh, is that a saw? Can I?" And I'm like, "Okay, time out. We can't just mess around and play with a saw. Like this is a powerful tool."
One, and anybody says, "Ooh, that's a saw," is gonna freak me out.
Yeah,
It's
I'm like,
not a
first
saw.
off, I was like, this needs to be a straight cut. And second off, like we ain't trying to cut off fingers right now.
Not today.
But like, taught her how to use a saw. She's never used a saw before. Now she has a little bit more confidence with using a saw, understanding and respecting the tool. Right? It's the whole idea of like understanding and being able to like use it if you needed to, or learning how to do things like that.
Right.
But I mean, just simple things like that, using power tools, shop class, being able to fix things, being able to problem solve, budgeting, money management. Oh, that's such a key one right now.
We had more at least where we had more classes that helped you with real life stuff in middle school than we did in high school.
Yeah.
Because in middle school we had the shop classes, we had the
you
art
had some of
classes,
those
all those
classes,
creative
yeah, the
things,
creative-
like the things where they're like, oh, this is gonna help shape which way you want to go in life. And then in high school it's like, yeah, here your electives, gym, art, choir,
Yeah.
communications.
Communications. Yeah. Well,
But there wasn't anything like for us. I took AP government, like, and
I would
I
love
still didn't know how to vote.
I
when
would have loved a
graduated.
class on like how to run a household. Like, like simple things like
Yeah.
doing laundry,
Like
what
a
are
sugar baby.
proportions, like a sugar baby, but like even just simple stuff like, laundry and measurements, like you said, like in cooking, measurements and understanding the process behind that stuff, understanding, design, I guess, like, taking a design class and understanding why you create a space.
And
the way you
even if they are available, because we could use the excuse say maybe they were available and we just didn't know. But I feel like these are things that should be mandatory. Like you should have to learn how to do your taxes. You should have to learn how to budget your money and how to cook and how to clean and how to do the dish. Like
that
these
game,
things that you assume people would know how to do, but they don't.
that game Life, like for me, like it's
Yeah,
like
the one where I always end up with a bunch of kids and no wife. I hate that game.
I always end up with a bunch of never mind.
Bunch of wives?
No, I was gonna say that.
Oh, husbands?
Nope.
I don't know.
Okay. Anyways,
I don't know where you're going with this.
I don't know. Sometimes the thought comes in and goes right back out.
Okay.
But no, like I feel like that needs to be like a senior project. Like,
Yeah.
you need to get a budget. Like, hey, here's, you pick a job and you pick, whatever, and you make this matriarch of yourself per se. And now you have to, for a year, kind of set up like a budget and set up like a navigation and set up how to vote and taxes and like this like makeshift like world that you're living with your other classmates, where you create kind of this like Sims basically, real life Sims basically. And in that, you're basically preparing these kids when they go out to the real world, when they get to college. They don't just get to college and it's like, oh wait, what in the world is this world? This is too much. I'm just gonna party because that's easy. I know how to do that. I go out, I get a drink, and we just get crazy. And there's music. Like, that's easy. It doesn't take skill to do that. Right. It really doesn't. But instead being able to be like, hey, like I can go to college and I can budget and I can figure out my rooming situation. And the first year I'm living on campus. Second year I'm living in apartments and, I have a roommate and I'm budgeting for a car to get me from A to B. And, I'm putting things in savings and I'm, managing my student loans.
Right.
How much of people, like I have one group of friends that they're getting ready to pay off their student loans here in August, which is so exciting. Cause like, I know
want to join me,
drown some people in their whole entire life. But in that, like, manage your student loans so that you don't get out the wazoo and in the water and you're like, oh geez, I'm gonna be paying these off for my whole entire life.
Yep.
And so just those little things, and even like how to have an interview, how to make a resume, how to like
we did do that. We had mock interviews.
Okay.
But what I would want to learn is credit. So
ooh, that's good.
Credit and loans is two things that I'd want to know. Like if I could go back and know these things, I could have been in a better position leaving. So as soon as before I graduated high school, I got a credit card.
Yep.
29.99 APR. No idea what that means. I'm getting this credit card because I'm probably going to need a $500 credit limit.
Yep.
Nothing, right?
Yeah.
A year and a half ago, I started to realize how much credit was actually affecting me, right?
Yep.
Because I'm applying for apartments and I'm getting into them, blah, blah, blah. Those are running my credit. I don't understand that any of this has anything to do with what's going on.
Yeah, like life.
So like a year and a half ago, maybe max 2 years, my credit was 580.
Okay. Yep.
And now it's like 750 because I knew what to do. Like I had to learn like how to get my credit up. But if I had known that before, I never would have dipped that low on credit.
Well, and you would have been working on it. And that for me is like, I came out of high school and they're like, college credit card, here you go. And I was like, okay, sure. Again, similar thing, 500 extended to 800 limit, woohoo.
Yeah.
Car got totaled. Bought parts for the car, fixed the car, would pay off the card, but then it would reoccurring and build and build and build. And eventually I just became a charge off because I was like, can't do this. This is too much. And so ding my credit. And then, buy here, pay here place. And my dad took me to, which I was just like, come on, ding my credit. And like all these different things. So in this, it hurt my credit. And like you, same thing, dropped down 580 low, whatever. And now it's like working up to 6, 7 because I know what to do. I'm figuring out, hey, how do I rebuild this up? Okay, I got a new car loan on this car and me being on time and overpaying and actually working towards getting this car paid off is helping me build that credit back up. So that when I get to a point where it's like, hey, I'm looking for a house or I have a little bit more of a pull and I'm not getting this crazy, interest rate or this crazy whatever because now it's like, well, you have no credit experience or you have no history or and that's the other thing too, is it's like, even just alone, my car credit is different than my house credit and different than, my regular. It's like, what in the world? It's not all looped in. Now you're telling me it branches out. Like
that was stressing me out too, because like we got a loan for the house and I'm like, okay, so does this mean that I'm this much in debt? Like, is this like, this is going to ruin my life? Did I just ruin my life right now? And it's like, well, it's different. It's home value. I'm like, okay, why didn't I learn any of this before? I've literally learned so much during the process of buying a house that I'm like, I might as well just go get my real estate license so that next time somebody else wants to do this, I can, like, I just want to help people that didn't know about it.
Break it down and explain it to where it makes sense, right? Right. Because you hear something and you're like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't understand what you're saying. Like, please break that down to me on a level that will make sense in my mind. Because I'm sorry, like, I'm not educated in that field or in whatever that is. That's not my field or my direction or my passion. So I don't know what that means. So you can
And-
tell me like, this is a price, and I'm going to believe you.
Yeah. And then that was the difference between like this guy, the guy that I ended up working with, Steve Castle, as opposed to the other people that were calling me and they're like throwing all these giant words at me. And I'm like, yeah, not
No,
going to work.
not gonna
But
work,
then you
yeah.
have somebody else who's like, hey, listen, this is what, and like, I'm not stupid. Okay. So
Yeah, but like,
that's not going to work either. And like the same thing with like the pool guy that we had. There's another guy who's like, oh, this is what it is, blah, 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 using all these big words. It's going to cost this much. It's like, that doesn't even sound right. So
yeah.
let's not. And it was a low number, right? And he's like,
Yeah.
this is how much it'll cost to do whatever you need to do for it now. And I'm like, that doesn't sound right. Call somebody else. He's like, listen, man, straight up, this is what I'm gonna tell you. This is exactly what's wrong. I'm not gonna skate around it. This is what it is. This
Yeah.
is what you need. You can call whoever you want. You can get bids from whoever you want. I'm
Boom.
just telling you straight up what it is. It's like,
Yeah.
cool, let's work.
And that's the guy you want, because he's going, hey, I'm not going to sugarcoat you. It's going to cost this amount of
Yeah.
money to fix what you
And
want.
this is why.
And we're not going to half butt it where it's going to damage your pool more
Yep.
or end up costing you more down the road. Like,
Yep.
oh, well, let me slap a Band-Aid on it. Okay, cool. A Band-Aid doesn't fix the problem.
Yep,
Band-Aid
but-
just covers up the wound.
And then there's always like that medium of like, okay, this is what's gonna fix it for real. And
then
so this is good, and this is what's higher up and above. So like it gave me the option, like, hey, this is low tier, this is mid tier, this is high tier. I don't care which one you want. I'm gonna tell you why, which one is which tier,
Yeah.
and then you get to choose. Like he's like, I'm not selling you anything.
No, I'm
He's like, I don't
ultimately-
even care if you choose me to do it. I'm
Like,
just telling you what you need to do. And I'm like, all right, sounds good. And I'm like, I'm in a class on persuasive communication. I'm like, I'll use this, and this. You did good. Good job.
Yeah, so good. Persuade. I don't know. I just think it's like it's that next level, right? It's that next level of like growing and figuring out life and doing life ultimately.
The people wonder why kids are so lost. It's like you have these kids, they get out of high school and they don't know what the heck to do. They're stuck living with their parents until post college, and then it's after college, and like I still don't know what I'm doing. And after that, and which would be fine if they had aspirations to do something outside of that. There's a difference between having a household as a blessing other than having a household because you need it and you have to have it. Like there's a big difference. There's no reason why somebody should be 28 years old and not know how to apply for an apartment.
Yeah.
Should not know what a credit card does or how to get a loan or what their next step. Like you don't have to know your future, but you should know practical ways on how to get somewhere.
Well, and even just like those little steps, right? Those little steps of like learning how to do that or understanding or processing that. And that was one thing for me, even the household that took me into, is because I didn't know a lot of this stuff. I didn't know how to have these different things in my name. And so the family that I was living with basically took me on the journey of like, hey, like here's how you apply for schooling. Here's how you do your taxes. Here's how you get, your phone bill in your name. And like they literally showed me and helped me and walked me through that process where it's like, no, I'm not stupid and know that like I could probably like Google and research and understand this, but they were guiding me and helping me develop those skills and understand what it meant and why it meant to do what I needed to do to be a fully functioning young adult. Like,
but it also helps when that person's on your side too, because like the family that brought me in when I was 16, 17, the mom was an accountant. She taught me like, hey, you can take this route with taxes, you can take that route with taxes.
Yeah.
It's like, it should never cost more than this. Like if you want to go to somebody else, you should never pay more than this. And like showing me the way, then help me get my own phone and get my phone bill and like, all right, transfer to your name. This is how you do that. And like, so I get that. Yeah. Like when people are leading you through it, it makes more sense than it does to Google, because you can Google something and it could be completely wrong.
Yeah.
You go on to Google and it'll tell you to put
anybody can put anything on Google.
a plastic
nowadays.
cup in the microwave and leave it in there for 2 hours to cure cancer.
Well,
it could be anything.
I see all those dumb things where it's like, oh, you need snow tires? Put nails in your tire. And then
yeah. And
oh,
people will fall for that.
Oh, your engine, is like overheating over the summer. Put water in your engine block. And it's like, oh my goodness. Like
people will believe that.
But people will believe it because they don't know better. That's not their field. That's not their gifting. And I think the only reason why I turned out the way I did is the mom I stayed with, she's a psychologist. She's a counselor. She's a Christian psychologist counselor. And so like in that for me, it's like me unpacking my brain, unpacking my thoughts, unpacking like the grossness, my baggage.
Yep.
Lord Jesus, like
gross.
bless her heart.
Yeah, bless
Shout
her
out, by
heart.
the way. Happy birthday, Christy. Thank you for everything that you've done for my life. It's her birthday today. Happy birthday.
Tammy, it's not your birthday, but thank you for your stuff.
Happy birthday to you.
Who sings that originally?
I don't know. You sang it last time and it got like stuck in my head. So now it's the only way I sing happy birthday. Is it from Chuck E. Cheese?
That's the Black Happy Birthday. You don't even know who sings it.
Is it really?
Anyways,
Is that such a thing? A black happy birthday?
yeah. Look,
Now you're gonna find it to like be like black happy birthday.
I'm just gonna type black happy birthday.
That's I don't know. I feel like that's dangerous. I can bring up a lot of things.
I know. I'm actually frightened by this. I don't want to. There it is.
No, I was like, Stevie Wonder sounds better than whatever that was.
Yeah, that one's not getting clicked on.
Ooh, Stevie Wonder. Come on.
What is he looking at?
I don't know. Isn't Stevie Wonder blind?
Oh my god! I want to see if you knew.
I'm like, what are you looking at? He's blind. He's just going all over the place, feeling the vibe. Is it
Will you
words?
start singing, man?
Yeah, like. Oh, come on.
Okay. That's what I was singing.
Yep. Uh-huh.
All right.
Oh, I love it. Love me some Stevie Wonder. Come on now. Happy birthday by Stevie Wonder, dedicated to you, Christy. Thank you for all that you do and have done in my life.
Wait. Hold up. Wait a minute. Justin Bieber.
What?
Just fantastic. So that's just what
Wait, hold up a minute. I thought you were about to like drop something like another topic or another direction.
No. Well, I do want to talk about something real quick.
Okay.
Worship music.
Ooh.
So there's a lot of new worship music coming out.
Have you heard that new one? I think it's More Like Jesus.
More like Jesus.
I got it right here. It is, More Like Jesus by Passion.
No.
Oh, it is
Christian Stanfield's in
It's
it,
the idea, and the main course, the main line in it is like, if more of you means less of me, then take everything.
Oh yeah, I've been seeing every pastor and their brother preaching on it.
I mean, I don't know about like going and preaching on it, but the song for me like is like, all honesty, I mean, I want to be more like Jesus. I want my life to resemble a Christ-like life, right? So like, I think there's a line too. Like, what if we actually put that into practice with our life?
Well, here's my thing. As many people are going to sing that song, there are very few of you that will actually do it. That's my thing with like, so when I tell people my story about moving here, most people say, oh, I'd never do that. Like I could never, I don't know how you did it. I don't get that. But then we'll turn around and sing these songs like, if more of you means less of me, then take everything. But you don't want God to take everything. Like
you don't want God to step in. You don't want God in every area aspect of your life. You don't want, which I was telling someone the other day, I was like, you can't sit here and expect God to continue to, direct and you feel him and like move you in your path if you're not willing to give him every part of your life. Like, and you can't sit here and then get frustrated when you're like trying to figure out how to process your emotions and your feelings and you're wrestling and you're like, I'm overwhelmed. Yeah. Why are you overwhelmed? Well, you're overwhelmed because you were never created to carry that.
Yeah. But what I mean is like, if you say more of you means less of me, then Lord, take everything. So that means it can take away the things that you like, the things that you love, the things that you adore, the things that you want. And
can we talk?
Would you really want God to take all of that?
Well, not a theological debate, but who's the guy in the Bible that Satan came and was like, hey, like I'm a test. Job, was it Job? Yeah. Job, like I'm a test, like let me test Job. And Jesus like, okay, you can do everything but kill him. Yeah. Like you can do everything but kill him. So he goes in and he like destroys his household, like kills his livestock, kills his like wife, and like takes away
not his
like,
wife, his kids.
His kids, my bad.
All 14 of
them. Kills his kid, like just literally the worst possible thing that you could do to a person, and he still praises God.
Put boils on his body. Oh, it's disgusting. You had to scrape him off with a rock. It's nasty.
Like, and literally, that's the definition. I mean, everything, taking everything. Like,
yeah, but in reality, most modern day Christians can't do that. They can't take that.
Are you kidding me?
No, modern day Christians get upset and almost lose their salvation when their Starbucks order is wrong. Let alone actual.
Their name's wrong. And maybe the order's not wrong. Their name's wrong on the cup. I'm sorry. We're humans.
We're not used to actual persecution.
Yeah.
We're not. Like, picking up your cross looks more like skipping out on a coffee date to do a Bible study. Like, it's not as real to Christians anymore.
So I guess my question is is there's these worship songs that we're creating, and these people that are creating the worship songs are really in tune to the spirit or really in tune to the culture, one of the two. But in that, like creating these songs and we sing these songs and we get into them per se, or we whatever, or we tweet it, or we quote it, or we go and preach it like it's like the Bible. And do we end up doing ourselves a disjustice in the sense of like, you don't really believe that, so why are you sitting here preaching it?
I think so. This is what I think. I think there are two sides of it. I think that the singers, the writers, those people, I believe that they probably believe what they're singing about, right?
Yeah.
And so for them to put it out into the world is a beautiful thing, and I love that. And if they're writing and they say, I believe that if more of Jesus means less of myself, then God can take everything from me, and they believe that, that's a fantastic thing, and I 100% trust that. That's cool.
Yeah.
What I do like is that we also sing it, and that we put it out there, and our worship leaders sing it to our congregations, because it's a message that they need to hear. But what I don't like is if we begin preaching it on other people when we wouldn't allow it to happen to us.
Ooh.
And I'm always at conflict with that, because part of me says I preach about things that I don't do, because I'm preaching about God who's bigger than me, and I'm preaching about things that we should all be doing. But I will also say like, hey, this is something I'm struggling with too, and I'm walking right there with you during this type of thing.
Yep. I think that's key right there. I think on every message I tell my students, I was like, this is either something that God is taking me through, or he's taking me through right now.
Right.
Because ultimately I don't feel like I can communicate something that, like that isn't something that I've been processed. Like I can't sit here and just tell you something that I'm not physically like aware of or into or doing. Like it's like the pot calling the kettle black. Like, oh, you're supposed to be brewing broth, but you over here, blending a shake. That makes no sense. Like that doesn't. Like, so I don't know. I feel really bad analogy. I don't know why those two go hand in hand. But
I get what you're saying though.
I don't know. I feel like I agree with you. Like it's one of those things. Like if you aren't really willing to live that out, or really hold true to it, how can you sit there and call others to it, right?
Well, you can, but be honest with where you are with it. Don't say like your life has to look like this because I've mastered it when you haven't.
Yeah. So more of just like it's your heart and your intent behind it. Like
right. It all starts with heart and intent, but nobody cares about intent when the action is different. You know what I mean by that? Like nobody's ever been like, let's say I came to your house, right?
Yep.
No, that's going to be weird. Let's say before me and my wife got married, I went to her apartment and I did like a candlelight dinner, but I burnt the house down on accident because the candle lit the curtain on fire, and then all of a sudden everything's in ashes. Do you think she's going to say, well, your intention was good?
Nope.
She's like, you burned down my apartment. That's not a good thing. Well, the intention was good. Like, no, like the intention was good. That's the same thing I think. I think that the actions that you show have to be bigger than just your intention. Like you can't just put that out into the world and say, well, I intended it for it to be good. But meanwhile, I just made a bunch of people feel like crap because I basically said that I've been able to do this, but you can't.
Yeah. Well, it's that actions speak louder than words, right? That you're living that out. Like, and so it's intentional that we are aware of what we're saying and how we're saying it, and that we are living it out. Because if we're not, ultimately, then like, I don't know. I rest with that point of you challenging someone else to do something that you're not even either willing to do, or that you're wrestling. Like if you're wrestling it, I think that's different. If you're not willing to do it, that's different.
Yeah, if you're just straight not willing to do it, then that you shouldn't be preaching it.
Yeah.
Period.
No,
and
that's a good.
One day they'll get it. I think that's part of the reason why people don't like church, but that's a different conversation. Yeah, so I think we're done here.
Yeah.
We have a commercial.
Do we really?
No.
Oh, I was like, wow, that was a surprise to me. We got a sponsor. Woo! Psych.
Wait. I do want to show you something though. There's this. I know I talk about the hope effect so much.
Oh yeah. Was this a video? I saw you share it.
Did you watch it?
Video. Yeah. So good.
So cute.
So good.
The Hope Effect posts this video with talking to like babies and kids about their families. So cute.
We'll drop a link in on our page.
Yeah.
So that way you guys can go watch it later. Yeah, no, it's adorable.
I was like, and those like little kids from our church, and I'm just like,
oh,
look at that.
I can't.
Oh my gosh.
We're doing a Mother's Day video this Easter with kids from our church. It's so adorable. Yeah. Mother's Day.
We're doing a Mother's Day video this Easter.
We're doing a Mother's Day video this Easter. We're doing Easter is still haunting me. Butterflies got brought up again. And there's still literally
only church workers will say that. Easter's giving me nightmares still.
Oh goodness, I have chills.
All right, if you made it this far, you're either bored or you're an enthusiast. Either way, we are super happy you came to join us on the Ministry Misfits podcast.
I see that being said, now you go Ministry Misfits podcast.
I'm Javon.
And I'm Matt. Thank you for joining us on this week's episode of Ministry Misfits.
Ministry Misfits podcast.
Baby, lock them doors and turn them. Nope.
No. Peace.
Later.